Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another first impressions video. In today's first impressions video, we are looking at my new 16-inch setup, but also more specifically a brand new upper and rail that just dropped from Midwest Industries. There are no sponsors to the channel right now, so how you can help me out, hit the subscribe button, comment down below. That's it. Also, I do have a B channel. That B channel is called FF Lifestyle, and I love it. I love everything about it. It is random content that will completely mix up your subscription feed. Let me play out this scenario for you. You're at lunch, right? You just want to watch a quick video, and man, you're sick of the standard doomer, crappy reviews like mine that are out there, and you just want to switch it up. You're done with gun content for right now. You've watched too many videos. I have a solution for you. Just hit that card, FF Lifestyle. So we got a new rail from Midwest Industries. I'm not exactly sure when this video is dropping. It may be a little bit after this is actually launched, or it might be right around the same time. I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna have to look and see when I'm going to drop this in my schedule of things. But of course, full disclosure, you guys know I've worked with Midwest Industries a ton on this channel. They did send me this complete upper from them to check out, minus all the accessories, and they have never asked me to say anything specific about their products or pay me in any way. I do get to keep this for free for the future. Just spoiler alert, I really like this rail. It's kind of pretty sweet. And they've actually done somewhat of an interesting change in things here. They've beefed out their standard M-lock ability, and I love this little feature here. So they've scalloped out the rails itself, right? They've scalloped these out, and in doing so, it gives it this kind of cool, it almost feels a little bit like quad rail-y, and I really like that. That's a super cool feature that drew my eye to the rail immediately. They did not continue the scallops all the way out. This is another really cool thing. Now, of course, I was super autistic and gooned out this whole area with goon tape, so you can't really tell, but I swear the scallops stop right here. And then what you have on the end is full standard M-lock capability. So you have more standard M-lock mounting slots. I think that's a really smart idea because you don't generally have people mounting things on M-lock in this position all the way towards the rear of the rail. So they've given it kind of this really nice feeling on your hand scallop in this area where you normally would be gripping, but then all the standard mounting capability on the front portion of the rail. And Midwest, if you guys are coming out with a quad rail that looks somewhat similar to this new cool design, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to be very excited about that. So hopefully, I have no idea if that's what their plan is, but it would be really cool. You guys know I'm somewhat of a fan of quad rails these days. Moving back from the M-lock features, mounting capability with marked pick rail slots up here on the top, and you do have that really cool, like, kind of skeletonizing that they do on this section of the rail, which I really like. Standard mount up with their barrel nut in the rear portion of the rail, so no complaints there. They do have now QD steel inserts on the rear portion of the rail, not the front. And I don't think anyone's going to gripe about them not being in the front. I think these days, most people are running them towards the rear of the rail. That's not always the case, but most are definitely doing that. And I do like that inserted piece there. I have personally never broken one free out of a standard QD hole in any aluminum rail, but I have heard that that has been a complaint for a lot of people out there. Having this kind of steel reinforced eyelet here is really cool. Midwest is going to be coming out with complete rifles with this new rail setup. I have no clue what those rifles are going to be yet, if it's going to, be kind of an addition to their Night Fighter line, or if it's going to be something else entirely. I would imagine they're going to do something similar to what this barrel is here, which is a super nice Criterion 223 Wild 1 and 8 mid-length barrel. My only gripe with the Criterion barrels is they are, at least the ones that I have gotten in the Midwest uppers, they're very thin barrels. And as you can see, I got this thing freaking cooking at the range on a very hot range day, and I've already changed the color on it once or twice here by doing that. Definitely not going to be like a civilian auto rifle type of setup, but they are very nice barrels and very accurate barrels at that. The gas ports on these barrels are usually a little tighter, as is with most like stock, more precision barrels, so the gassing is typically really nice on these uppers with these barrels. Standard upper in the rear, nothing to really write home about there, and a standard cut Midwest bolt carrier group in the rear. Quickly, I can just go over the random things that I threw on this for the video, because I know a lot of people will ask, because I built out an M4E1 lower for this. Troy CQB battle stock. You guys know I can't really talk about Troy because of their past history. There's very few companies I will do that with. Troy is one of them. I mean, I got too much of a feeling on Ruby Ridge and Waco to be talking about that. However, I had this off of a used rifle that just, again, I picked up used that had it on there. Was trying to figure out what to use it with, and this was the rifle that it wound up on because it was just simply floating around in that used parts bin. So that's what this stock is. Arid sling on here. This is the first time I've ever ran an Arid sling, and it's pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about it. They do use metallic buckles. I don't know if this is aluminum, steel, or what, but that's usually not my preference because it ends up just kind of going to town on your rifle, not from hard use, but just from chilling in the safe. A2 pistol grip on here with some goon tape. I don't mind these pistol grips. I know a lot of people hate them, but for me, I do sneak my ring finger up on top of that nub and shove my middle finger kind of between the trigger guard and that ring finger, and that gives you a really nice ability to control the whole rifle and kind of utilize that to your own benefit. I think usually if people use it like this, it's going to be uncomfortable for anybody, right? But when you sneak it up, it's kind of a nice feature. True North Concepts reach device on this. This is going to be one of their angled grip stops that it works really well on this build in particular. But the cool thing about these is they have the screws up towards the front portion of the grip. So really, I'm pretty sure they designed this for the Gen 12, but you can use it on a bunch of different builds if you want to mount it, like say right over your gas block. You can actually reach it back and get to different positions. A Romeo 7 and then also another Juliet magnifier. This was given to me by a buddy. This I purchased. And the Romeo 7s, I really like these dots, surprisingly. For the price, they seem to be pretty bomb-proof. This is my second one I bought, and it's quickly becoming kind of my go-to, like, I need something for this rifle. I don't have a huge optic budget. I'm just going to get this and plop it on there. I like a big chunk of an optic on top. I don't know why. It's just, again, something that I enjoy. This magnifier, jury's still out on. The Juliet 3 is super cool. Again, gifted to me by a good friend, so I can't really go wrong with that. But I did have some weird things adjusting it where it seemed like it didn't want to adjust to the dot, so I gotta look in on that. But as far as the eye relief, it was pretty good. I was still able to run my rear sight, which I like to do just with any electronic. I like to have a backup iron sight. In this case, I went with the new Magpul M buses, and I've been very impressed with these. I like these polymer sights. I obviously have a Magpul second gen M bus up in the front as well. And finally, I have a standard Streamlight ProTac. Nothing really going on here with this light. Super nice light. I've never ever had issues with it, and you have the ability to run it with a pressure pad, but in this case, I just don't really feel the need to. It's a rifle that is perfectly fine to access from just using my thumb on there, and I do have, actually this is a True North Chemo muzzle device. True North did send out the muzzle device and also the reach for me to take a look at here on the channel. But that Chemo device worked out really well with my Stacy's Mom K with the chemo device there. So that is pretty much going to wrap up this first impressions video on this upper itself and really the rifle as a whole. I'm going to continue to shoot this thing and see how the upper does and the rail does over time. If you guys have any other questions about this stuff, throw them down below. I'll try my hardest to get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description, check out the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great content coming soon.